Saturday night, my friends and I navigate the creepy downtown area where abandoned buildings seem to outnumber places still in business, only to find that the line leading to the club is so long it snakes around the corner. Randall moans.
That is one long line.
Mike, full of energy as always, bounces on the balls of his feet.
Don't be a wuss. We're on the list. Jess here knows somebody. We can cut.
Becky, wide-eyed as ever, asks, "Is that fair?" I hook one arm in hers, one in Randall's. Cal said he'd get us in. If we can't skip the line, we'll do something else. I've missed you guys. I shiver, wishing I had the confidence to choose warm tights and boots instead of heels and stockings. Randall puts an arm around me and pulls me closer.
You forget it's winter?
I'll warm up as soon as I'm dancing.
If we get inside. Enough with your whining, old man!
Mike turns around and walks backward a few steps as he taunts Randall. I stick out my tongue at him. Enough with your talk about old men. I'm as old as he is. Becky stops short, throwing me off balance. What? No way. Way. Have to own up to it someday. Well, you don't look it. Oops, sorry, Randall. I didn't mean you're old or anything. I'll shut up now. Becky's cheeks, already rosy from the cold, are now fully flushed. She sounded a little surprised on the phone when I asked her to come out with us. She's been assistant stage manager for Shakespeare Boston from the beginning, but maybe she still feels like an outsider. Glad I asked her, I whisper in her ear, "It's okay, he is old." Randall rolls his eyes, but takes the teasing in stride.
Hey, I heard you quit teaching at that private school.
More like they quit me. I got replaced by an actual aerobics teacher.
That sucks. But you're doing that play up north.
I laugh. Yes, an entire hour outside of town. Randall's from Boston, too, so he thinks anything outside of 128 may as well be in New Hampshire. Anyway, the money's not horrible, and I'll get the weeks for my health insurance.
Nice. Well, I can put a word in at the restaurant if you want.
I might take you up on that if I don't book anything else soon. Mike claps his hands.
Get a move on, folks!
I squeeze Randall's arm. He's right. Let's get inside. We catch up with Mike as he trots up to the dude guarding the door. Mike's on the shorter side, but he puffs up his chest and flashes his wide smile.
Hey, my man. Jess Abraham here should be on your list.
Standing, the bouncer is monolithic.
List?
Yeah. Mike takes a step back. You know, the list.
I don't got no list.
I go up on tiptoes behind Mike. I'm a friend of the DJ's. The guy's face may as well be carved of granite.
There's 5 DJs spinning right now.
I untangle myself from Becky and Randall and raise my hand. I'm a friend of Callahan's.
Callahan's, sure.
The sarcasm in his tone is not encouraging. 2 people exit and he checks the IDs of the next 2 people in line. After frowning at me, he follows them inside, shutting the door behind him. Mike turns to face me.
What the fuck, Jess? Do you know this guy or not?
I do. We're friends. Friends who've never actually met, I don't say. If this is a bust, I'm buying everyone a drink. I wrap one leg around the other in an attempt to warm up. So, what's the Hamlet gossip? Mike's eyes light up.
I think something's going on with Eva Marie and the guy playing Horatio.
Really? I squeak. Is he for real, Becky? She flashes an impish grin. All I can say is Dave is pretty mad. I always wondered if those two had a thing. How old is the guy playing Horatio? I couldn't tell you if Eva Marie was 40 or 60. Dave's probably in his 40s, but a guy young enough to play Horatio? That's cradle robbing.
Give her a break. She's still got it going on.
Randall smiles at a cute guy in the line behind us. Mike shakes his head.
It's too weird. She was my teacher. She can't date anybody.
The giant reappears, interrupting our gossip.
All right, you're in.
He doesn't sound happy about it, but when he lifts the velvet rope to let us pass, he gives me a nod.
Sorry about the wait. Cal never has guests, so I had to check.
Cal. As expected, it is chaos up here in the booth with multiple jocks coming and going, so I'm relieved the bouncer caught my attention to ask about my guests. It's ridiculously important to me that I don't let Jess down. Her voice in my ear is like a drug I'm addicted to. Gracie's spinning at the moment. It's a crazy setup tonight, where we're tag teaming in 15-minute sets, so I find a spot in the shadows and scan the dance floor. There she is. A voice crows in my head. It makes no sense, but somehow I know. The woman spinning in the center of the dance floor, graceful arms snaking over her head. The crowd makes space for her, not because she's out of control, but because her presence demands it. Her movement is mesmerizing, her hips and feet keeping beat with the bass while her upper body draws the melody in the air. It has to be her. She glows, not just because her dress is neon green. Her smile is contagious. The way she moves has everyone around her dancing more. Everything. Even though I'm afraid of dimming that light, I'm drawn to it like a moth to a flame, or like a 4-year-old to a flame. And just like that, it's like a needle scratching across a record. That radiant girl falling for me the way that I've already fallen for her. It's a total fantasy. A fairy tale, not like in a Disney movie with a happy ending, but like in the olden days where kids get stuffed into an oven and everything goes up in smoke. Hey, man! My protective instincts and boxing training kicking in, I counter-block the hand on my shoulder without even thinking. Whoa! The guy stumbles back, hands high. I blow out a breath, tightening the string on my hoodie before mirroring him. Sorry, you startled me. Yeah, it's all good. I wanted to let you know that you're up in 2. The guy from the club takes another step back when I turn around. Also, there's a VIP room in case you want to hang there between sets. I heard you had some guests. You can invite them up too. Thanks, man. After edging past him, I step onto the platform next to Gracie. From up here, we can see the whole floor, but the way the club is lit, they can't see us. Just as well. Time for me to disappear into the music, where I belong.
Jess. You're sure you want to leave with us? Becky asks as we wait for service at the club's coat check. You don't want to stay and hang out with your guy? Nah, he's really busy. I'll probably see him tomorrow. I fib. It's kind of embarrassing that they think I'm dating a guy that I don't even really know, but I can't seem to rework my story. At one point, Mike and Becky and I were dancing pretty close to the booth where the DJs were working, but it was too dark to see faces. I was unreasonably convinced that I'd recognize him, but when I got closer, I chickened out and reversed course toward the middle of the dance floor, convincing myself that I was just there to dance. It did feel so good to let the music move me. All that disciplined work at the bar and in class turns to pure joy when I let my hips swivel, my arms swirl, and my entire being spin. Later, after I took a break to go to the bathroom, I told my friends that I'd talked to Cal and he sent his apologies, but it was too crazy for him to stop and meet them. Our coats appear and Randall, ever the gentleman, holds mine up for me. Mike does the same for Becky, asking,
When do we get to meet this mystery man? They usually swoop in and pick you up in fancy cars.
Well, if we were rehearsing the same play, that might happen. Since I don't even know if this guy has a car, let alone where he lives or what he does with himself other than watch sports and play excellent music, I need to change the subject before I tell more stories than I can keep up with. Anyway, free night of dancing. Good tunage, fun crowd. Not too shabby, right? Once everyone's bundled up, we head outside and speed walk to stay warm, laughing and teasing each other all the way back to our cars. On the way home, I try to figure out why I didn't try harder to see Cal, or why I lied to my friends about who he is to me. I guess it's because I don't really know. All I know is that I can't seem to stop calling him. I really hope he's not avoiding meeting up in person because he's with someone else or even married. Something seems off, and with my track record, it's probably not something good. If I had any sense, I'd tell him I'm done. But not only am I not known for my good sense, I'm not quite ready to do that.